Just write down the first item. Operating leverage. Completed this slide? Yes. Okay. So operating leverage is ability of firm to use a fixed operating cost to magnify the effect of change in the sales and its change in ABIT. So operating leverage represents the relation between company sales and company ABIT. This slide we have done. Okay, now write down the formula. Write down the formula to calculate the operating leverage. Operating leverage is equal to OL. OL is equal to C upon OP. C means contribution. C stands for contribution. OP stands for operating profit. Contribution sometimes directly given to you, sometimes it's not directly given to you. So here contribution is equal to sales minus total variable cost. Write down the formula for contribution. Here contribution is equal to sales minus total variable cost, TVC. Okay, and here operating profit means a profit before interest and tax. Generally, it's known as profit before interest and tax. PBIT. It also known as PBIT. Please note down this one. Operating profit or profit before interest and tax. Formula done?
Yes.
Okay. Last one formula is to calculate only the operating leverage. Now the degree of operating leverage. Write down the formula and I will explain the concept. Your degree of operating leverage means change in a sales and change in a profit. DOL is equal to percentage changes in profits or percentage changes or change in a sales. Let me explain this in detail with a practical example. Suppose in your one semester, semester one, you have 7 subjects. Okay. If you get 80% in a one subject, it directly affect or it directly reported in the semester one. Okay. And on an average, suppose 70, 80, again 80, 70, 80, 70, 80. So on an average, you will get 75%. I'm right?
Yes.
On a second semester, you have again 7 subjects. If you are getting the same mark, again you have 75%. Are you getting my point? So, if this percentage are changed, suppose in the second semester your percentage are like 60, 50, 60, 50. What is your result for the semester 2? 55. Are you getting my point? If the percentage in a one subject is differed, it's a change, then entire semester result will change. The same thing is applicable here in the degree of operating leverage. If the sales of the company is changed, then automatically the profit of the company. will sink. Are you getting my point? If the sales increase from 5 lakh to 8 lakh, definitely there is an increase in a profit. But this degree of operating leverage represent the change in a sales and change in a profit in terms of percentage. Suppose company increase the sales by 20%, then how many percentage of profit will increase? Okay, suppose there is a change in a sales or increase in a sales by 20%, so it will represent in profit, suppose by 5%. Are you getting my point? अगर कंपनी अपना सेल्स 20% से बढ़ाएगी तो कंपनी के प्रॉफिट में 5% का इंक्रीज होगा. If the company will reduce the sales by 20%, definitely कंपनी का प्रॉफिट 5% decrease होगा. Are we clear about this concept?
Yes.
Okay, this is the concept of degree of operating leverage that represent the relation between a percentage changes in sales and profit. And mathematically, we can write like this: percentage change in a profit divided by percentage change in a sales. Are we clear about the second formula? Okay, where we are using this operating leverage? Few points are there. Operating leverage is one of the techniques to measure the impact of changes in sales, which leads to changes in profit of the company. The prime use of operating leverage is to measure the changes in profit due to change in sales. अगर कोई भी कंपनी अपना सेल्स इंक्रीज करती है डिक्रीज करती है तो उससे कंपनी के प्रॉफिट में क्या चेंज होता है वो किसकी हेल्प से हम डिटरमाइन कर सकते हैं? विद द हेल्प ऑफ ऑपरेटिंग लीवरेज. If any changes in a sales, it will lead to corresponding changes in profit. Corresponding changes means a fixed ratio होगा. If the sales will increase by 20%, profit will increase by 5%. So we can write like this: if the sales of the company will increase by 40%, then definitely profit of the company will increase by 10%. Are you getting my point? If the sales of company is decreased by 40%, the profit will also decrease by 10%. If I say here, if the profit of the company will increase by sales of the company will increase by 60%, definitely profit will increase by 15%. Are we clear? Number 3, operating leverage helps us to identify the position of fixed cost and variable cost. Sorry, not a position but proportion of fixed cost and variable cost. Number 4, measure the relation between sales and revenue of the company during a particular period. And next one, important for us, it's help to understand the level of fixed cost which is invested in operating expenses of business activities. Here fixed cost means, or fixed cost investment means investment in plant, investment in factories, investment in buildings, and investment in other fixed assets. Are you getting my point? So the operating leverage help us to identify, to understand the proportion of fixed cost plus how the operating expenses are affecting the level of fixed cost. मान लो कि कंपनी डेली के 50 यूनिट्स बनाती है और अब कंपनी टारगेट करती है कि हमें ज़्यादा सेल करना है, सेल्स को इंक्रीज करना है फ्रॉम 100% टू 140%, तो क्या होगा? कंपनी विल प्रोड्यूस मोर प्रोडक्ट्स. As company wants a more sell, so company need to produce more product. If the company wants to produce more product, it means either company expands the machineries or either company establishes new machineries. जो भी फैक्ट्री है वो फैक्ट्री में या तो उसकी अंडर यूटिलाइजेशन होगा तो पूरा यूटिलाइजेशन होगा, या फिर कंपनी नई प्लांट नई मशीनरीज को एस्टेब्लिश करेगी. आर वी क्लियर? तो वो मशीनरीज कितना लगेगा वो भी हम यहाँ से डिफाइन कर सकते हैं. लास्ट वन, overall position of fixed operating cost. The cost of operating machines, cost of operating factory, cost of operating plants. described by operating leverage. So if I summarize this entire slide in 4 to 5 lines, it helps us to fix the proposition of fixed cost and variable cost. It helps us to determine the level of fixed cost. It helps us to determine the level of sales and revenue. It helps us to find the relation between sales and profit. Are we clear? Are we clear? Now, one more important point here, that is, in financial leverage, the concept is important, formula is important. This is not that much of important, but this exercise is very, very important. Now, read the entire slide and try to solve this practical. From the following selected operating data, determine the degree of operating leverage. Company has a greater amount of business risk and why? कौन सी company? We have company A and company B. In a company A sales is 25 lakh. In company B, sales is 30 lakh. In company A, fixed cost is 7,50,000, and in company B, fixed cost is 15 lakh. Variable expenses as a percentage of sales are 50% for a company A and 25% for company B. Question clear है? We need to identify which company is better, okay, or which company have more businesses. Which company have more business risk. Go to the formula. Find out the formula for degree of operating leverage. DOL की formula देखो. Change in a profit upon change in a sales. Okay. Now see here. Profit is given to you? No. Okay. Before that, just to find out the leverage, which formula is it for operating leverage? C upon OP. C is given to you?
Yes.
Where? C means contribution. See, anything, any point, any particular about the contribution? No. We have written one more formula about the contribution, and contribution is equal to? Okay. So first we find contribution, and contribution is equal to sales minus variable cost. Okay. Sales minus variable cost. Now, company A and company B. For company A, their contribution is equal to sales minus variable cost. See the company A sales contribution is equal to sales. How many? 25 lakh minus variable expenses. It means variable cost as a percentage of sales are 50% in company A. 50% of sales. Your sales is 25,000. So variable cost B is equal to how many? 12 lakh 50,000. And your contribution will be 12 lakh 50,000. Are we clear about the company A contribution? Okay. Similarly, go for the company B. Total sales of company B 30 lakhs, and 30 lakhs minus variable cost. It is 25% of 30 lakhs. Calculate the 35%, and that is 7 lakh 50,000. If you deduct this amount, you will get the contribution, and contribution is 22 lakh 50,000. Am I right?
Yes.
Are we clear about the contribution? Yes. For company A, it's 12 lakh 50,000, and for company B, It's 22,000. Sorry, 22 like 50,000. Now put the formula. Your operating leverage OL is equal to T upon OP. Contribution we have find it out, but operating profit is again not given to you. You need to find. Okay, so write down here. Operating profit is equal to sales minus total cost. Your total cost means fixed cost plus variable cost. Okay, operating profit is equal to sales minus total cost. तो पहले हम A कंपनी का देखते हैं operating profit. This calculation is about contribution. Now we are calculating operating profit, and operating profit is equal to sales minus total cost. Now write down the total sales of company A, 25 lakh minus fixed cost. How many? 7,50,000 and variable cost 12,50,000. Ultimately, the final answer will be 5 lakh, right? Okay. And here, in case of B, 40 lakh total sales minus fixed cost 15 lakh minus minus variable cost 25%, 7,50,000. 1,750,000. I'm right? Are we clear about the calculation of profit? This is the first way. Now the second way, if you deduct the fixed cost from the contribution, you will find the profit. ऑपरेटिंग प्रॉफिट या प्रॉफिट फाइंड करने का दूसरा फॉर्मूला ये है कंट्रीब्यूशन माइनस क्लियर है. Second is contribution minus fixed cost. Here 12,50,000 contribution minus fixed cost 7,50,000 profit will 5 lakh. And here 22,50,000 minus fixed cost 15 lakh. Ultimately you will get 7,50,000. So there are two formulas. Number one, operating profit is equal to sales minus total cost. If total cost is given to you, okay, or else profit is equal to contribution minus fixed cost. Are we clear?
Yes.
Okay, now we put this all the values in the formula operating leverage. Operating leverage means C upon OP for company A. For a company A, operating profit and contribution. So first contribution 12,50,000 upon profit 5 lakh. For B 22,50,000 upon 7,50,000.
2.5.
2.5 in case of A, and in case of B 3. Are you getting the same answer, all of you? In case of A 2.5 and in case of B 3. Now answer the question, which company has the greater amount of business and why? Whether company A or company B? Company B. Why? If you have understood the last 10 minutes of last session, you can answer this question. When we have discussed the concept of operating leverage, on a second slide we have something about this. Okay, first confirm. All of you are getting the same answer?
Yes.
Operating leverage for A company 2.5 and for B 3.
Yes.
All those are here in online mode. Are you getting the same answer? Okay, now look at to the theories. Read the first one. क्या लिखा है? If the company have a high degree of operating leverage, if its employ a great amount of fixed cost, great amount of fixed cost means if you see the company A and company B, in company A fixed cost is 7,50,000, in company B the fixed cost is 15 lakh. So here fixed cost is more and smaller amount of variable cost. What happened? What happened? इसी के बेस पे हमें कंक्लूजन लिखना है. ओके, प्लीज नोट डाउन इफ यू वांट टू नोट डाउन, और आपको याद रह जाए तो इससे भी बेटर है. कंपनी बी इज रिस्की. कंपनी बी इज मोर रिस्की एज कंपेयर टू कंपनी ए बिकॉज company B have more fixed cost as compared to company A. Company B is more risky as compared to company A. Comma. Fixed cost in company B. Fixed cost in company B and operating leverage. Fixed cost and operating leverage both are high. Both are high. More high or more as compared to company A. Both are high or more as compared to company A. Conclusion clear है? कौन सी कंपनी रिस्की है? कंपनी बी. वाई? क्योंकि ऑपरेटिंग लेवरेज भी ज्यादा है और फिक्स कॉस्ट भी ज्यादा है. इसका एक चार्ट भी आएगा, लेकिन दैट वी विल डिस्कस लेटर ऑन दैट व्हिच कंडीशन और व्हिच स्ट्रक्चर इज मोर रिस्की और लेस रिस्की. Are we clear about this? Any doubt, any query? Just a quick revision. Operating leverage represents the relation between sales and profit. Changes in sales and changes in profit. It's determined, or it helps us to determine the position or proportion of fixed cost and variable cost in the company. It will represent the risk of the company, specifically a business risk. If the degree of operating leverage is high, company have more risk, and if the degree of operating leverage is low, company have low risk. Are we clear? क्या है फॉर्मूला, एक बार रिपीट करो. ऑपरेटिंग लेवरेज इज इक्वल टू C upon OP. C means contribution, and contribution is equal to sales minus total variable cost, and OP stand for operating profit, and operating profit means
S minus
okay, S minus TC, sales minus total cost. Here total cost means fixed cost plus variable cost, or else profit is equal to contribution minus fixed cost. Are we clear? Okay. Next, financial leverage. That financial leverage that we will start from tomorrow. Okay. This is enough for today class. The remaining discussions that we will do in the next class. For attendance purpose, write down the attendance in your chat box. Actually, I have some another session at 10:30. Okay, some places are there. So for the August, whenever we have these sessions, you will get more time for tea break.